Hi fam, and welcome to our 7th episode that is Youth in the Metaverse on the Youth and Changing Tech Trends podcast. I'm Tawheda Ali. I'll let my co-host introduce herself.
Hello guys, my name is Caroline Wavinya and welcome to the 7th episode.
Yeah, today we'll be talking about the youth in the metaverse. Can you give us the segments?
So today we'll be having 4 segments. The first one will be what is metaverse and why does it matter to the youth. The second one will look at the applications of like the metaverse, like the avatars, virtual realities. Yeah. The third segment will be like opportunities for education and businesses in virtual reality. And then the last one will talk about the risks that comes with the virtual realities, the addiction, the identity thefts, and isolation.
Yeah, thank you. You know, this is really a hot topic.
Yeah.
Because most of us, I know, everyone is about 3D, VR. You're like, yeah, I want to watch a movie of VR, but what is VR? People need to know what is metaverse, you know?
Yeah. I can give a short description of what the metaverse is. It's just a shared virtual space which like combines the virtual reality, augmented reality, social media, the 3D stuffs. Yeah.
Mostly like I've seen several people, even I think on TikTok, they usually wear the VR kit and you know it's kind of
I saw that.
People be screaming, oh this idea, I don't know what. That's all. That's all about VR, metaverse. That's all about it. You know, it's using the digital forms to feel the reality. Because sometimes you can see it's like you feel like you're in that place, but it's not real. It's just the kind of illusion of you being in that place, but you're not really in that place. It's just using the digital and tech things to make it feel like it's real.
Actually, it's nice. I feel like it matters because like compare that like experience which is beyond the traditional screens we are used to like watching, just sitting and watching a movie from the TV. But now you get to experience it like feel it.
Yeah, you feel it. Especially, I think most of the youths are getting into the VR mostly. Mm-hmm. Like, most of them wanapenda mambo na hizi pia avatars. You see, because most of the social media platforms have the option of like making the avatar. Instead of putting the profile photo, you can just put an avatar. You just edit your avatar, whatever you want it to look like. Do you want it to look like you? Do you want to look exactly like you?
Yeah.
But it's going to kind of resemble yourself, you know. Mm-hmm. So we can get into that's the introduction part of the metaverse. Yeah. We can get into the application of metaverse so that people can understand deeper how metaverse works, where does it work? You know, sometimes maybe it's something you're interacting with, but people have not realized it's that.
Yeah, so here we'll be talking about the avatars, virtual concerts and digital hangouts. To start off, we can start by the avatars because it's the most common thing.
Yeah.
Because actually every social media app right now has those avatars thing.
I'm sure no Gen Z. Hakuna Gen Z do avatar.
They're just some realistic cartoonists which are like a representation of yourself. Though like they don't look like you, but they give that like a person that like self like representation, self-expression, and for people like sometimes you feel like this picture doesn't I give. So you just use the avatar like a representation of you in those sites.
Yeah, adding on that week also, I think AI has its own avatar. Like kuna some venye I can just put my photo and command it to make me an avatar.
Like some sort of those Ghibli effects.
Yeah, Ghibli effects. It's all about Nenio. And also virtual concerts. Sayata si lazima niende ni America. I see this singer. He can just, some of them organize the virtual concerts.
Yeah.
They do it online.
I saw the Travis Scott 2020 4-night concert, which, it was a groundbreaking event which actually attracted like 12 million players live. Yeah, and they were just reacting to different beats and exploring different
And you are just at the space of your home,
yeah.
but you're enjoying the concert.
Yeah.
We can also talk about gaming. This online gaming, mostly ambazo zinatumika with the VR, you know.
Yeah.
I remember I once did VR and I was traumatized after that. And I was just feeling, okay, I just feel this, the way their games are usually, some of them are usually scary.
Yeah.
So I just feel like this person is coming for me. And then it's kind of where?
I've actually not gotten to experience that, but
you must.
I feel like it will be a very interesting thing because you get to
experience.
Yeah, to experience it. Release yourself, just be yourself there.
Yeah, I think it's also
go with the vibe of the
we could also say it's entertaining because okay, you'll be terrified at the start, but then you'll be so happy with it.
Yeah.
And even the movies, some movie theaters, they usually have the 3D movie. You just wear the 3D specs, and then you watch the movie, but you feel like that thing is real. You see, so it's a horror movie. That monster is coming for me because you feel it's a reality, and that's good because you can be watching a movie, but you feel like it's not. Yeah, so at least when you watch in a 3D way, you feel like, you can feel the interaction and everything. I think it also helps with the interaction also.
Yeah, that's about the digital hangouts. Nowadays, we don't have to interact with, I interact with you here. I can just be playing like Roblox.
Yeah, I've seen
it. With a person who is not me. Inatoa that limitation of being limited to interacting with the people who are just within the surroundings.
I think most online gaming have that
interaction.
Is it PUBG also? The other one that's most of the boys, it's just PUBG.
That DM thing.
Yeah. It's kind of nice.
And also we have I saw this thing, it's called VR chat. It's a form of avatar, but people get to experience avatars in some 3D form. Yeah, so youth meet there, they talk, they dance.
Oh, that's great.
And about the virtual concerts, Travis Scott, Lil Nas, even Ariana Grande tried the 4-night virtual concert thing. Yeah.
We can get into the other segment. We can get to the other segment, that is opportunities for education and business in virtual reality. I remember, I think some weeks ago, I was writing an article about the use of virtual reality in education.
Yeah, actually, I saw it, and a nice article.
Thank you. And I realized that some schools in Kenya use VR in education, I remember during our time we used to go for trips. We used to go to the labs, mixing chemicals,
Yeah.
But sasa there is this, I think it's an organization called Kwanza Virtual Reality.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, they have that program where they go to schools and allow the students to experience some things using the VR. I can't. You can go say same as a school in Nairobi. Students are going back to Gede ruins in Kilifi to see the place.
Ruins,
yeah. So instead of that, with the virtual reality thing, you can just they can just do the things and feel the place. They can be doing the tourism and everything in the VR.
Yeah, I saw that the co-founder of Ukwenza, Mwangi.
Yeah,
It's called Ukwenza VR.
Ukwenza VR.
It's called Mwangi. There's this school. They have actually taken virtual reality to Nexa International, whereby like students have been taught using VR. I also saw like them saying like VR is good for like because of the students who like can't like attend classes. Maybe let's say you have like, let's say you're somewhere, you're sick, are not able to go to school. You can just use the VR to attend class and make like learning more like
easy and interactive. Yeah.
Because like when you take a look at the traditional way of attending classes, you're just there listening at the teacher. At some point,
sometimes you're going to be dozing.
Yeah, and divert. But using those VR ninis, unapata like the lesson is more engaging and
I think even
it's
most
more practical.
Yeah, I think even most of the students prefer practical classes than the theory classes. That's why I feel like most of the schools should like adopt to the use of VR in teaching, because at least let's say if a student knows today there is a VR class of say history, they won't miss out compared to a student knowing today the teacher is just going to class and he'll just stand there and talk. You see. The class, I think the VR classes are more interactive, more engaging,
and more enjoyable.
And I think the students can, they can feel the things like, sometimes you can be seeing something like, you can't relate. But sasa in the VR, you can relate some situations.
Yeah, I get it. Like, it's not the same as looking at that image kwa textbook.
Yeah, you can relate to it. Sasa, this is how this works, you see. A person, so this is how it works. And I think adding to that, it makes it like memorable. Because I remember, that day I saw it was like this and it was like this. Compared to a textbook, it's kind of, you just look at the image, this is how this is working, but you don't see how it works. You can't relate how it works until you experience it.
I also saw like Brookhouse.
Yeah.
Brookhouse. They've also incorporated VR. But then in here I saw it's about learning like the sciences, biology. They were doing like a biology.
Oh, that's nice.
Like, the VR
kit.
Yeah, VR kit. And it's actually a good mode of learning because everything is presented to you like reality in a letter or two on your eyes. You've seen it.
Yeah.
And you get to actually enjoy the lesson. And actually most of the learners will get like to love studying because who doesn't want to go to a virtual reality class? Everyone wants to experience that good thing about it.
Yeah. And also in businesses, as I say, I think some people are diverting, like they own those VR kits, and that's how they're making money. They go to fun places, to entertainment places. They tell people to try it, and obviously, some people won't reject. It's like, you have to pay for it, so that's how other people are earning.
Yeah, even I saw like Nike land. What is it called in Roblox? Yeah, that Roblox. It let you like engage with their brand like virtually. Yeah.
I think even I've been seeing a lot of videos on TikTok of these guys walking around the streets and supermarkets. They just tell people to try on the VR. You choose whatever you want to, because they usually have like categories. Yeah. So you choose whatever you want to experience and you experience it. If it's fun, it's okay. If it's going to be horror, it's okay. But at the end of the day, that's an opportunity for someone to like make money from it.
Yeah, even UNICEF Kenya and Mozilla Hubs, they have piloted VR like classrooms in like for remote education.
Yeah, so you see, for I think schools in remote area, they can't be like, say if we have such opportunities, they can't be missing out since they can just hire maybe for.
I think they actually provide experts to those schools because you can't just take VR kids to those schools and they don't have people.
Yeah, they need also to learn the importance of VR first for them to incorporate it.
And even like the singer, I don't know whether you know him. I don't know it's him or her. He's Anaito Sinachi from Nigeria. And I sell like digital art.
Oh, that's good. I think I've been seeing a lot of people saying instead of just doing this, you can sell your art online digitally.
Yeah.
But I've not yet done money on that.
Yeah, it's actually good because those people who are using it, they are showing like the youth how they can thrive creatively in Metaverse.
Yeah, because I mean, a lot of youth are really like into it. Though ni vile tu labda mtu haja, they have not noticed this is Metaverse. But most of them, especially, I think most of the boys are more into online gaming.
Yeah,
which
a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Like, I think 9 out of 10 are into gaming, online gaming. Yeah, and that is all about hizo mambo na avatars, 3D, and everything.
So we go to the last segment, which about risks like identity theft, addiction, and isolation. We start off with.
You can start with the addiction.
Yeah.
I think the addiction that comes with VR, the addiction that comes with the VR use is, it's just too much. Because you can see a person sitting the whole day.
Yeah.
Playing a game the whole day, PUBG, from morning to evening, PUBG.
Actually, I feel like the addiction is ni kama ndo mingi because like it takes time to kutoa huyo mtu hapo kwa hiyo game because akapo maybe anashindania certain position and then he doesn't.
And I think the addiction is now what leads to isolation, because I'll just be sitting alone playing that game, maybe with the virtual friends or what, and then I'm alone. I'll sit alone. I won't have time to interact. I won't have time to do this. I won't have time to do that just because of the addiction I have for this gaming.
Yeah, it actually limits social interaction, one-on-one interaction, because mtu like amekuwa so much like tied to like ama amekuwa like deeply connected to like
the avatars.
the let's say like mtu watu wana game online ako so much attached to that game, so much attached to his opponents in the game. Yeah.
Than in real life.
Mm-hmm. Another thing is the identity theft. Fake avatars, hacked avatars, like they can lead to impersonation.
Yeah.
Because like right now I can create a profile of me and call myself, let's say, Tawheda. And Tawheda has an online art business. And then I have the same avatar feature like you. And now I'll get like to impersonate you, have your work, and hiyo nitakuwa still like ni kama nimeiba your work.
Yeah.
And then you see now, if I steal your work, if I impersonate you, I might copyright my work, and you are the original owner of that work. And if like let's say una evidence, you see that's like lost work.
Yeah, that's true. That's why I think people should also mambo na copyright their own works.
Yeah.
But as long as we want to like experience new things, like the 3D visuals and everything, I think people should also don't forget to interact and talk to people around you. Don't forget yourself. Don't be too deep in the digital world or the online world than in the real world.
Yeah, actually there are educators in Kenya who are like raising concern about the overuse of like mobile devices and the VR headsets, because like zina lead to like physical, zina like limit the physical socialization of people, and unapata like you can't do something constructive, because if you are much attached to that Roblox, if you're much attached to that PUBG, there's nothing actually productive you'll do during the day.
Yeah, of
because
course.
You'll dedicate most of your time to gaming, most of your time to like creating those fake 3D avatars there. Yeah.
And do this nini pay, like this online gaming like PUBG? Do you earn from them?
I really don't know.
Because if people could be so much dedicated to them, maybe they're earning something. That's why. Hey. They could be earning some pretty money there. Maybe that's why they're so much dedicated to the games.
Yeah, but actually,
I'm not sure though.
as much as this metaverse thing is shaping like how youth learn, how they express themselves, how they interact with other people, like I feel like parents, guardians, like even you yourself, you should like take precaution and be responsible with how you are using the things which are being offered in the metaverse space. Yeah. And like we have even like policy regulations which will like ensure like youth are growing rather than like
getting lagging behind. Yeah, that's true. I think also universities should have the VR things.
Maybe there are universities which have them. I didn't
because I think most of them I've seen it's just schools, high schools, maybe and the primary schools. But
actually
I've not seen
saw on the Nexa and Brook House.
I've not seen a university or a college in Kenya using VR.
Maybe
they should incorporate that.
Yeah, maybe they'll invest in that.
Yeah, I think especially for students who are doing medicine, maybe it could be very useful to them. Yeah. Medicine, mostly medicine. Yes, journalism. What could we see in the VR? I don't know. Maybe the historical part of the world.
Yeah, maybe you start being shown the ancient cameras.
That's all for today's episode. It was really a nice episode. I'm Tawheda Ali. See you in the next episode.
Thank you guys for listening and watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on that notification, and like videos zetu jamini. Anyway, thank you for listening. I'm Caroline Wavinya.
Bye.